Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Last weekend was the 2025 Pop Con YXE. I went for both days, Saturday and Sunday. First time since 2019 that I went for both days. I thought it was actually well organized. I thought the guests were pretty awesome. The first one that was announced was Deborah Ann Walsh, I believe, who played, she was on Daredevil. The second one was Kevin Sussman, who played Stewart from The Big Bang. And then they had Jake the Snake Roberts. I'm like, sweet, first time they are bringing a wrestler in. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then they had Lou Diamond Phillips. I'm like, nice. And then Robert Patrick from Terminator 2 who played the T-1000. I'm like, sweet. So I, get all the stuff. I was gonna get the Terminators, bought the Terminator poster, bought my VHS tape, and so unfortunately Jake Roberts canceled, which was disappointing. But hey, we got Axe and Smash from Demolition, and then Friday came along and Robert Patrick had to cancel. Oh well. Like I said, hopefully maybe next year he can come and join next year. So hopefully, Robert Patrick, hoping to see you next year. So it was pretty good. I was standing in line, and I was actually in the wrong line because I was in a line where people had already had their tickets. I was in the advance tickets line, so I had to go over to the next line over, which was actually not bad because there was nobody there. There was about like 3 or 4 people standing there. But I did not know how it worked if people had the advance tickets, if they were allowed to get in early. I had no idea. So they opened up, so they started rolling the line in about 9:45, and then it was about 10 o'clock, and we stood there for about 5 minutes. There was a person behind me that was kind of like, like, let us in, let us in, let us in. And so they let us in about 10:05. I'm like, okay, well, whatever, it's 10:05. So I walked in, and I went and had coffee, which I never do, but I had a coffee, sat down and had coffee, and looked around and all that stuff, and they had the steel guy there again. He was there. Rob and Rick and I forget the other guy's name. He was there, but they were there all the time, every single year. And there was a few vendors. Shay from Next Level, she was there selling some not autographs, but pictures, which I did buy one from her. And I said, oh, he'll just hold on to it, and I'll come and get it when I'm leaving. And I forgot, so I have to go to Next Level and pick that up. So I did the walk around. They had the guests at the far back, but they started charging GST and PST, which was kind of odd because it's like I had to think there. I'm like, did they ever charge GST and PST from past cons or whatever? And I'm like, I don't think they did. So this is the first time that I paid GST and PST for an autograph. But oh well, what can you do? But the first thing I saw there was a guy selling in the books. They had 3 books, and I'm flipping through them. And if they had they had a few Terminator ones there, which was cool, and a few Gargoyles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. Well, then I came across this. This was my first purchase of the day. Green Ranger Dragon Zord. It's pretty cool. So that was my first purchase. Was that? So $20 for that. So that was my first purchase for the day. And then, what did I do next? I went and see Axe and Smash of Demolition. So, got myself an autograph. This is not an 8x10. This is a little bit bigger than an 8x10. So thank goodness Rick had the top loader for that. And then here's me. That's pretty cool. Axe and Smash. And then I went, and the celebrity guy was there again. I never bought no celebrity autographs from him. There was really nobody I wanted besides I was actually out to get Loretta Lynn if they had it, and they didn't have it. But I did find 2 action figures. Got myself Shawn Michaels, SummerSlam 2002 when he made his return. He had that fight with Triple H. That was pretty cool. And then I always wanted this, and I finally got it. I bought the Shawn Michaels, and then I did another loop around, and I'm like, you know what? I better go back and grab that, because if I don't, then someone's gonna buy it, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I should have bought it. So I went back and got myself Becky Lynch. This was pretty cool. This is from when she entered the 2023 Women's Money in the Bank. So that was pretty cool. So I got those 2. And there was another guy that had, I was walking down, and I just saw like a big gigantic thing that said WWE, and I'm like, oh, nice. And he was asking $60, and I'm like, so I was him and then hawing, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just come back. And later that day, I went and was gonna go buy it, and someone bought it. So rats. I think he was only asking $60 for it, so not much, but oh well. And then really late in the day, I went and met Lou Diamond Phillips. So I got that one. That's pretty cool, because it was kind of interesting, because when I walked in there on Saturday when I was seeing Rick, they had a whole bunch of La Bamba posters, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna be sold. And then here's a picture of me with Lou Diamond Phillips. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we were talking about like, Criminal Minds and Law and Order SVU and all that stuff, and that was pretty cool. He was awesome. He was really awesome. I know my sister-in-law, when I posted on my Facebook page, she said, was that in Saskatoon? And I said, yeah. And then she's like, oh, I'm jealous. LOL. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. That was my sister-in-law that messaged me on Facebook. But yeah, he was awesome. He was really cool. And the last purchase of the day, you guys are going to say, oh yeah, typical Kenny. Got myself a Power Ranger poster. Because obviously I'm a huge Power Ranger fan. If you don't know, now you know. $25 for this, like the picture itself, and then to frame it, it was $20. So why not? $45. So that's what I got. That was pretty cool. So I love that. He had a few other ones, so I'm like, well, maybe next year, if he comes back. Hopefully he does. That's what I told him. I'm hoping to see you next year. And that did it for Saturday. Sunday I went in. I was there about 1:45. And the reason why I was there late in the afternoon is because we had my mother-in-law's Mother's Day, even though Mother's Day is tomorrow. We had it last Sunday. So after we went to the Travelodge and gave her some stuff, and then we went and I took my wife home, dropped her off, and went to Pop Con Sunday. And then as soon as I walked in, all those La Bamba posters, gone. So just takes time. Somebody must have bought them, and they're all there. So yeah, they were all gone. Yeah, I think I counted like 5 or 6 La Bambas, and they were all gone. There was a guy that was selling video games. Shell M was there. Bumped into him. Bumped into Miles from High Tech. He was there. High Tech Game Traders, by the way. And yeah, and I bumped into a few customers that I drive out because I am a shuttle driver, and I ran into a few of them. Some of them were actually helping out, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, so that was awesome. So the first thing I went and checked out was Kevin Sassaman. So I got him. So I found this one. It says, "To Ken, you're going on the wall of fame, my friend." And then yeah. So this is the episode where Leonard got a phone number from a girl, and yeah, she was like, "Yeah, you're going on the wall of fame." And so that was that episode. We were talking, and I kind of told him that, when the Big Bang came out, I really didn't like it. I thought it was a stupid show and all that stuff, and I thought it was just dumb and stupid. And watched the first episode. I got into it, and now I have all the seasons. So it's a great show. Sometimes you can't judge don't judge the book by its cover or something like that, as the old saying goes. So give it a chance. Yeah, I loved it. I loved the Big Bang. It's fun. And then obviously I got my wife an autograph. It says, "To Christina, stay nerdy, Kevin Sussman." So that's pretty cool, because my wife and I both watched the Big Bang. That's awesome. And then here's a picture of me and Stuart. Very nice guy. Very nice guy. I watched Demolition's panel on Saturday. I was hoping to get Lou Diamond Phillips' panel, but it was at 12 o'clock, so I missed that one. But I did get Kevin's panel Q&A, and that was pretty fun. And then I got Neon, I think this is Neon Lights, I believe. So they were there, so I bought this one. It was about $15 for that. And then I bought a couple of cosplays, young ladies. So I met her. She was really nice. I was hoping to get this one autographed, but yeah, she was really nice. Really nice. And then met this young lady. She was really nice. She was awesome. Very nice young lady. She was actually here last year, which was, but like I said, I never stayed last year. I went on at 10 and left at 10:45. So I missed, but at least I'm glad that she came back again this year. And I told her, I said, I hope to see you guys. I hope to see you again next year. And I said, thanks for coming to Saskatoon again. So, and then I'll show you guys a few other photos. So, I bought so many, and then I think I bought like buy 3 and get 1 for free. So that's what I got. And that's it for the. And I also got a picture with her as well. But that did it for 2025 Pop Con YXE. A lot better than it was last year. I would definitely say that. And hopefully next year will be even bigger. And great. I was not disappointed this year. Even though last year I did say I might go and I might not go. But this year, I said, you know what, I actually really enjoyed myself. First time since 2019 that I went for both days. So I can't say 2020 and 2021 because that was canceled. So technically, in hindsight, 22, 23, 24, 25. So technically 4 years, not counting 2020. If you guys know what I mean by that. But yeah, I went for both days. I should have just got the $70 patch. $70. It was $40 to get in, so I kind of paid $80. I should have just got the $70 one for 2 days, but I did not know if I was going to go back Sunday. But I'm glad I did. There was 2 video game guys there. There was one that was on the right-hand side, but there was another guy selling like N64 games and way overpriced. Wow! Holy crap! NHL 99 for the N64. This guy was asking $100. I'm like, wow! And it's only worth like $20, unless it's like sealed and never been opened, and it's like, okay, maybe $94 on Video Game Price Charted. But oh man, he was selling. Yeah, his N64 games was way overpriced. Because I was like, oh, 007 wasn't enough for like $140. I'm like, nope. It's only like most like about like $60. So I'm like, yeah, nope. Even the Kobe O'Brien NBA Courtyard 1 and 2, he was asking a ridiculous amount of money for it. So yeah, wow. Major price gouging right there. But yeah. Don't know why. I wanted to mention that anyways, because I'm like, holy. Way overpriced for N64 games. My opinion. Other than that, everything was great. I bumped into some of my friends were there. I bumped into some of my family. That was awesome. And I really enjoyed myself. The only thing I kind of wish that I went and got Rick to get. I wonder if I should have got a protector for this. I wonder if he had a protector for one. And then this one is kind of sticks out. And there was one here that also sticks out. This one here kind of sticks out just a little bit. So I should have went back and got some of those done top load to see if Rick had those, but he didn't. But, well, actually, I didn't go back and ask, actually. But I'm pretty sure he probably did, but I never went back and asked. But that's going to do it for Pop Con YXE 2025. Well done, I think. A lot better improvement I thought it was from last year. So, we'll see. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you guys for more videos. Cheers.